So friends, Judge Aileen Cannon's dismissal of Donald Trump's classified documents case might end up helping Hunter Biden? Okay, I didn't have that one on my bingo card. But let's talk about it, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, are you sitting down for this one? Recall how Hunter Biden was recently prosecuted for lying on a federal firearms purchase form? Well, Hunter Biden's lawyers just filed a motion asking the judge to throw out his criminal conviction because he was prosecuted by a special counsel, and Trump-appointed Judge Aileen Cannon down in Florida just ruled that special counsel ain't a thing, not lawful, not constitutional. Talk about your strange bedfellows. So let's start with the new reporting, but before I turn to that, if you'll indulge me 30 seconds, as you may know, here at Justice Matters, we're an all-volunteer operation. We're up and running 7 days a week, posting a legal analysis video every day, and we couldn't do it without your support. So if you'd like to more formally support our all-volunteer efforts, our mission, our content, please feel free to come on over to patreon.com. You can sign up to become a patron, and if you do, I will send you some Team Justice and Justice Matters stickers and a personal handwritten note of thanks. And thank you to the many of you who have come over to Patreon and are supporting our work here at Justice Matters. Okay, let's turn to the new reporting regarding Hunter Biden's lawyers trying to use Judge Cannon's opinion to get Hunter's criminal conviction thrown out. This from Axios. Hunter Biden uses Trump classified documents ruling in dismissal of case request. And that article begins, Hunter Biden's legal team has requested the dismissal of cases against him in Delaware and California, citing the unconstitutional appointment of special counsel David Weiss. Judge Aileen Cannon, the heavily scrutinized judge handling former President Trump's federal classified documents case in Florida, dismissed Trump's indictment Monday, using the same justification as Biden's attorneys, the unconstitutional appointment of the investigation's special counsel. Both Biden's attorneys and Cannon cited Justice Clarence Thomas's concurring opinion in the Supreme Court's ruling that granted presidents immunity for official acts. This from Hunter Biden's lawyers. Quote, guided by Justice Thomas's opinion, Judge Cannon dismissed an indictment against President Trump earlier this week because the special counsel was unconstitutionally appointed. Biden's legal team wrote in court filings. Quote, based on these new legal developments, Mr. Biden moves to dismiss the indictment brought against him because the special counsel who initiated this prosecution was appointed in violation of the Appointments Clause as well, the motion read. Okay, friends, let's unravel this one, but I don't want to bury the lead. This won't work. In my opinion, Hunter Biden will not have his cases dismissed, thrown out, because Judge Aileen Cannon issued a ruling that resulted in her dismissing Donald Trump's classified documents case in Florida. And we'll talk more in a minute about why this won't work, but let's sort of survey the legal landscape as it exists right now. Hunter Biden has two criminal cases that are presently active, one in Delaware, gun case. He went to trial, he was convicted, and he's pending sentencing, so that case is not yet complete, and one out in California. It's a federal tax case. He hasn't gone to trial in that case yet, and his lawyers, relying on this Judge Cannon ruling down in Florida, said, we want you to adopt the rationale of Judge Cannon in her dismissal of Donald Trump's case because she claims special counsel's not a thing, not lawful, not constitutional. We want you to adopt that same rationale in Hunter Biden's cases and just throw them out. Well, friends, if these judges, the judge in Delaware in Hunter Biden's gun case and in California in Hunter Biden's tax case, hear these motions, they will very likely rule the way all other judges have ruled. 4 federal judges previously ruled that special counsel actually is a thing. It is lawful. It is constitutional. In fact, the Supreme Court back in 1974 sort of took up this issue as part of a larger challenge by Richard Nixon to a subpoena that had been issued by a special prosecutor, kind of an earlier version of special counsel, but the same principles at play. A special prosecutor had subpoenaed Richard Nixon's tapes, and the Supreme Court said, yeah, it was a valid subpoena issued by this special prosecutor, and Richard Nixon must give over the tapes. You know, if the special prosecutor was just massively illegally appointed and unconstitutional, the Supreme Court probably would have picked up on that. And as I say, 4 federal judges more recently rejected attacks on the legality of using special counsel in more recent years. So Judge Cannon is the outlier judge on this, and she did it because she wanted to help Donald Trump, plain and simple. It is a pattern that is inescapable in the way Judge Cannon has presided over Donald Trump's case down in Florida, which she has now dismissed, but stay tuned, more to come on that front. So if these other judges in California and Delaware take up the motion, they may not. They're not bound by what Judge Cannon said or ruled or did. Judge Cannon's ruling has exactly 0 precedential value. Why? Because what one trial court does or rules in one case is not authority, is not precedent for any other federal court judge. Indeed, the only courts that set precedent are appellate courts. When they rule, when they resolve a case and hand down an opinion that resolves some issue of law, that becomes precedent, but only in the jurisdiction in which that appellate court sits. So in Florida, it's the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. So even if the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals issued a ruling, set precedent, it wouldn't necessarily apply up in Delaware. Why? That's a different federal jurisdiction. That's the 3rd Federal Circuit Court of Appeals. And that circuit court has authority over, I think, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, and the Virgin Islands. So what Judge Cannon said and did and ruled down in Florida has 0 impact or implications for federal trial court judges anywhere else in the country. In fact, even if one of Judge Cannon's colleagues, another federal judge in her federal jurisdiction, took up the same issue, she wouldn't be bound, or he wouldn't be bound by what Judge Cannon ruled or said or did, because trial court judges don't set precedent. Now, it's not a surprise that Hunter Biden's lawyer said, well, a federal judge said it. A Supreme Court justice jotted a little note in a separate concurrence in the president is king, the president has absolute immunity opinion. Clarence Thomas wrote a little note that he obviously intended for Judge Cannon, saying, hey, Judge Cannon, you might want to look into this appointment of special counsel thing. I think maybe there's an issue there that could help Donald Trump. In substance, that's what Clarence Thomas communicated to Judge Cannon. But as much as I understand why Hunter Biden's lawyers decided, as part of their zealous representation of their client, regardless of the implications or the consequences, even if something might help Donald Trump in the long run, you still are obligated to zealously represent your client, make your client's best arguments, regardless of how others might benefit from or be hurt by the position you're taking in your client's case. So I'm not surprised Hunter Biden's lawyers made these motions, but I think they are destined to fail. Because what Judge Cannon did in Donald Trump's classified documents case, tossed it out, ruled that special counsel ain't a thing, they're not lawful, they're not constitutional. Not only does it not have any precedential value anywhere else, it's a bad ruling. It's a bad ruling, and it should be rejected, and I suspect it will be rejected by all other federal judges who have occasion to take up that issue. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.